the usage of gas by the Nigerians generally, that the capacity is still low in terms of utilization. But there's an area that has been of importance to Nigerians and to the economy, which has to do with the supply of gas to the power sector. We've heard time and time again the Minister of Power saying that they've not been able to get enough gas. And if we have 95% of our gas still exported and we're using just 5%, what is going on in terms of supplying the power sector with enough gas to operate?
Okay, I think you have to differentiate the one that's being exported. I mean, that's liquefied natural gas and LPG as well. Natural gas for power, which the minister is referring to, comes from various gas fields, associated gas. Now, the problem is that a lot more needs to be done in terms of harnessing the reserves that we have. Gas production needs to take place significantly. Now, the PIB is also a disincentive for not investing if people don't have a clear-cut idea as to how they're going to operate within this terrain. Now, once you can spur them on, then yes, I mean, a lot more would take place from the IOC's perspective than it is now. I mean, really, they're the ones that have been providing the bulk of the gas that the power sector gets. But a lot more needs to be done across the whole spectrum, both the IOCs, the marginal field operators. And I know that there are certain companies that are active in that as well, people like Frontier, Seven Energy. So something's being done. But the thing is, the time frame for these projects to come on stream, there's at least a 5-6 year period from when you start your gas utilization project to when it comes into fruition, to when you have pipelines that will take the gas to the desired power station. So it's a whole stream of activities that needs to take place. Now, in the interim, my own sector, the LPG sector, also acts as a stopgap because LPG can be used to power your local generators, even turbines. The only thing is that you need a lot more to be able to power the turbines. A lot of the solar turbines that you see on the drilling rigs, on the platforms, can run on, they're tri-fuel, so they can run on either diesel, LPG, kerosene, base oil, high pulse fuel oil or low pulse fuel oil. So LPG acts as a ready catalyst in mitigating some of those circumstances. The problem is that we haven't really delved into that area as much as we should as a nation, because it's a neglected area. LPG is only seen as a cooking fuel. But we need to also take advantage of the fact that we're exporting about 3 million tons of that through LNG, and only about 250,000 comes into the domestic market, although they've said if we need to go as high as 1 million tons, they definitely will ramp up the supply side of things, because, as you know, shale gas is taking quite a chunk.
And there are projections that it may impact on our revenue base if we do not do something about increasing our, diversifying our economy and not just be dependent on oil. I like the Prince to come in at this point. The issue of shale oil, let's take it up from there. Shale oil as is surging, the production is surging in North America, the U.S. as one of the leaders in terms of production. What do you think we should do to ensure that there is no loophole anywhere in terms of revenue? Revenue has been dropping for months. We've seen the states complaining that the federation allocation has been reduced owing to the fact that we're not making enough money for the economy.
I think we need to be a little more dynamic in terms of, again, policies, because everything goes back to policy. If you don't have a foundation, a good foundation, you cannot build on it. You see, if the government is not managing, it's one thing to come up with good policies. It's another thing again to implement those policies in a way that will be beneficial to both the industry and the government. If you implement your policies in a way that the investor sees that it's going to be shortchanged, it's not going to react properly to your to read. And I think that is what is happening. The investors are not foolish. If they are the same all over, right? The Shells, the BPs, all the big companies are the same all over, and they have production in every country where there is oil. So if they see a situation in a country where there doesn't seem to be a clear-cut arrangement to make money, or where they have to start striving too hard to make money, they reduce their activities there. If the policies are right and the government, the right sounds are coming from the government, you'll be surprised that our production will go up in 2-3 days by 20%, in another 1 week by another 20%.
So why can't we make the right policies, make the right decisions? There'll be issues of afterbals. We have people who want to just benefit themselves. The economy, there's a delay.
Know.
I know the elections are here.
The will.
The elections are here, and we do not know the outcome, but we need to get things up and running to achieve results and not stay on one particular spot. We've been on a spot for a long time, and within other countries like Angola, for instance, production is increasing, and even some are saying that it may outpace Nigeria in terms of crude oil production. So what are we doing?
Well, I think we need to go back to our National Assembly, because if they provide robust supervision to the ministries that are in charge of all these activities, there probably will be a way out. But again, if the National Assembly makes all the noise and the executive is not willing to move, there will be friction, there will be... the executive always has a way to slow down the National Assembly's efforts. So there needs to be, both of them need to work together closely and compare. You rightly said it, Angola, there's a lot of activity going on in Angola. Ghana, I was in Ghana last week. They're talking about supplying power to Nigeria. That's the joke of it.
And we're giving them gas.
Yeah, we're giving them gas.
And other neighboring West African countries.
They are going to roll out their own gas production soon. They have purpose-built gas gathering machines, and Ghana Gas is so dead serious about rolling out soon. And once they do that, they would have surpassed us in terms of
and they wouldn't need our gas, and our
gas
will also drop in that respect.
They will not need our gas again. So we need to really, really wake up. We need to really wake up and make sure that we can get the benefit of what God has given us free of charge. At least, if we don't want to use it as government, let us make it available to the common man in Nigeria to use. So basically, I think, again, it's a question of the will of the leadership to do the right thing.
Okay, we don't have much time, but let's just touch on the issue of kerosene sale. I know that Dio was speaking earlier on, and he was saying that we need to just leave kerosene aside and focus on LPG. However, the new development is that some people are making illegal profits from the sale of kerosene, and that could be tied to the fact that there is subsidy for it. Now, what should be done to correct such things going forward? Dio? Well,
first of all, I mean, kerosene should have no place. Kerosene should be directed at the aviation market. That's what it's for.
That's it.
It's not for cooking. I mean, it's been proven. World Health Organization says 4 million people die from the effects of indoor air pollution, which is from kerosene and firewood. Annually. So, wow. And that's a significant amount. Africa definitely
has the highest number.
The highest number of people with that. So, we shouldn't be talking about kerosene at all in 2014. However, it's a good thing that the government realizes that they can't afford this subsidy anymore. If you're spending 700 million naira a day on kerosene that doesn't get to the people at this, your so-called 50 naira, then you have to rethink the strategy. LPG is the ready solution for it. And I always use the Indonesian model as the example. Indonesia in 2006 had the exact problem that we had, importing a lot of kerosene that was not getting to the people at the right price. They were subsidizing. So what did they do? They converted 56 million homes in 3 years. They gave out packages of 6 kg cylinders, two 6 kg cylinders and stoves to 56 million homes free of charge. The government was the biggest beneficiary of that program. What happened? The multiplier effect of that was that revenue streams to the government increased in terms of tax revenues, because all through the value chain there was a significant increase. They reduced from their $9 billion payments for subsidy significantly. They spent $2 billion in doing that program, and so they saved $7 billion.
All right.
The exact same thing needs to happen here.
We need to just take steps to correct a lot of anomalies, and that'll be all I can take from you. Thank you so much. It's been a very wonderful conversation, and I want to believe that the Ministry of Petroleum listened to our conversation and will take the right steps. I know they have been doing some work in terms of having to correct all of these issues, but I hope that things will get better after this conversation. Thank you so much.
We've
been talking to Dayo Additional. He is the National President of the Nigeria Liquefied Petroleum Gas Association, and Prince Bambo Adimiliu. He is the past chairman of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry LPG Group. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the program. And that'll be all on Business Morning. Thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate your time here on the program. I am Bolaji Akinwale.